He's the T-Rex of political talk. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are now 8 minutes into this second hour today. We're going to have open phones in this hour and the next. The toll-free number to join us on air for first-time callers. In the fourth hour today, it'll be wide open phones for everyone. But in the first section of calls we're going to take today, I want to leave it open for first-time callers on the oil spill, on the demonization of the Tea Party, set to kick off into a new level tonight with Chris Matthews of MSNBC. The toll-free number to join us is 1-800-259-9231. Again, that's 1-800-259-9231. Again, we've been live for the last hour and 8 minutes, but we are simulcasting now at prisonplanet.tv for video viewers out there. And I just want to say something. I can't believe the amount of attention this radio show is starting to get, that my films are starting to get, that our news websites are attaining. Infowars.com, prisonplanet.com. It is nothing less than mind-blowing what has been unfolding. The Drudge Report is now linking to Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com on average 3 times a week. That's a big deal. We are being discussed on Japanese television and radio, Russian television, radio, the biggest newspapers and magazines in France, in Germany, in a positive way. They say a prophet is not known in his own country. I am being demonized by Mother Jones, the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, MSNBC, Salon, articles, 3 or 4 a day. We have hit the zeitgeist. We have really hit the zeitgeist. And I want to say something right here. I am ashamed of the job I've done in the past. I do not get arrogant or on a power trip when I have this level of success. In fact, it's the opposite. I'm ashamed of the job I've done. Because I never intended to be this successful. I just was angry about attacks on the Second Amendment, attacks on the Bill of Rights, attacks on the Constitution, attacks on private property, abortion, dehumanization, the private Federal Reserve, out-of-control taxation. I was really a mainline libertarian Ron Paul type 15, 16 years ago. And when I get up here and say that pedophile rings are one of the biggest cults or guilds running Washington, that's just what the facts always show. When I get up here, in fact, where's my newest article that Watson wrote that you guys had just brought into me? Because you said it was in here. The one about population reduction. You had said it was in here. Yeah, just give me another one because it's not here. Thanks. When MSNBC demonizes me and says I'm insane because I talk about how the globalists want a world government to carry out an orderly population reduction, all I'm reading is State Department memorandums. All I'm reading is the 1996 UN Biological Diversity Assessment. All I'm reading is the Times of London with the headline, ultra-rich meet in secret to discuss overpopulation. I mean, we actually in this office read, Aaron Dykes and I, the hundreds and hundreds of pages of the 76 new vaccines being funded by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and upwards of half of them are for covert sterilization. Now, let me be clear about, the point of saying I'm ashamed of the job I've done. I'm proud of the fact I've had a pure heart. I'm proud of the fact that I've been like a bulldog and never let go. I'm proud of the fact that my heart's been in the right place, but I can't help but look at all the opportunities I've had and the squandered opportunities to wake people up and the mistakes I've made. But then I understand that historically nobody's perfect. None of us have all of the answers. And that I've done the best I could. And that I'm trying right now to really go to the next level, to grow up, and to be more focused and more serious, and to really get in depth into every subject I cover, instead of just grazing over the surface, because I can't just make a pronouncement, even if I've documented it 1,000 times in the past, on every TV show, on every radio show, in every article we write, in everything we do, in every film I make. I can't just condense the info and make a claim without going back and pointing to all the proof we've put on, because this information is so incredible, people are going to have trouble believing it. But if we're able to show them the proof each time, then no matter how outrageous it is, it can be something that supercharges their awakening. I know it's crazy that every top globalist openly writes books and makes statements about forcibly sterilizing us, covertly sterilizing us, and bringing in an authoritarian world government to establish neo-feudalism. But that's what Peter Singer and Dr. Pianka and Holdren and Paul Ehrlich, that's all. There's more of them than you can shake a stick at. Any direction you look, once you understand this is going on, it's all they talk about. It's all they do. The guys printed a bunch of news for me today that was on the websites that I hadn't even read, so I didn't get back till last night. And there's got to be 4 or 5 mainstream news articles about how great it is to not have any children. First, it's only have one. Now it's don't have any. And should there be taxes on having more than one kid? And, Bill and Melinda Gates, have gotten $200 billion from Warren Buffett and themselves and others. Now they want $400 billion others. They want tax breaks for the elite to give their money to eugenics. That's mainstream news today. Folks, this is real. And Chris Matthews writes a big hit piece, MSNBC and cover-up of manifestly provable population control plan. And MSNBC the last 2 nights, they've attacked me on multiple shows. I found out Chris Matthews has been hitting me night after night, so have other shows on MSNBC. And on every show, they say, I'm going to cause violence. I'm calling for violence. I'm stirring up violence. And that's in the script we got that one of their people leaked us because they're concerned for the television program Rise of the Right that's going to air tonight. And I'm the finale of the program. I'm the king of the crazies, in their words. And they just said that I'm completely insane and there's no plan to reduce world population. Now, Pat Buchanan was on the panel. And I'm not attacking Pat here, but the issue is he was in the Nixon White House, and I've seen his name in papers concerning forced population reduction that Nixon and Kissinger and George Herbert Walker Bush were obsessed with. And Pat Buchanan has actually written about this in the past, and he wrote about this in Death of the West, and he knows fully about it, and he sat there and kept his mouth shut during this. He was in the White House at a high level when State Department Memorandum 200 was secretly published and circulated to the CIA under the orders of Richard Milhouse Nixon. And when George Herbert Walker was sent to China to sign the secret treaty for a one-child policy and that China would be given hundreds of billions in tax incentives in the U.S., that is, U.S. companies would be in the aggregate, and lowered tariffs in the aggregate that would just tens of trillions, to move industry there if they would have a one-child policy and be a model for world government. In this secret alliance between China and the United States that's now been declassified. Where the two countries actually looked at nuking Russia together.